Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of New York Giants Football Talk. Super Bowl week, February 3rd, 2026. Unfortunately, our Giants were out of it since week one with the blowout against the Commanders. But hey, it's Super Bowl week. We're here to have some fun. We did memories last week. We'll probably have some more memories tonight. We got some Giants news and some fun topics for everybody tonight. But as always, to my right, soon he'll be to my left as I switch sides. Paul Rosen, my friend, my brother from another. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Good evening, Kenny. Good evening, everybody. Listen, as crazy as this sounds, today's February 3rd, 2026. 18 years ago today, Kenny, Super Bowl 42. We discussed it last week. I was there. I can't believe it's 18 years ago that the Giants did the improbable, beat the undefeated New England Patriots, ironically back in the Super Bowl, to probably the greatest upset in football history. And I mean, I can't believe it's been 18 years that's gone
Oh,
by,
I
but
know.
hopefully we'll be able to have more Super Bowl memories in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got the agenda tonight. Scoops is saying hello, Scoop Woodhams, and
Hello,
our first
Scoops.
topic has to do with what he's saying. So I'm going to hold off on his comment, his short comment, real quick, and then I'll let you take over the agenda, and then we'll get his comment in.
All right. Let's go right into it. The Giants and John Harbaugh made a very, very key hire today. The Giants brought in Matt Nagy, uh, well respected offensive coordinator, former head coach of the Chicago Bears, from offensive coordinator under the Andy Reid tree, uh, coaching tree. So, Kenny, why don't you give me your thoughts first about
Yep,
the hire of Matt Nagy?
sure. Scoops said congratulations on Nagy. That's why I wanted to hold his comment. Thank you, Scoops. I like it. And I woke up and I saw it and I said, Matt Nagy, wow. I was like thinking, do I like this? Do I not like this? I like this because, like you just said, former Bears head coach, bringing in experience at the coaching level. Mike Kafka wasn't an offensive coordinator. There was none of this with under Dable. You're seeing coaching experience, not only offensive coordinator experience, you're seeing head coaching experience. The other reason it's simple, Paul, and then I'll go back to you. It's simple. Pat Nagy, Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes won a couple Super Bowls, I'd say, right? Under the Andy
Yeah.
Reid tree, Matt Nagy also interviewed for the Titans job, but the Titans went defense. Callahan was an offensive guy. They went defense. A lot of teams do that. Nagy was in the final running for that job. So many things to like. I think I'm excited. Travis Kelsey excelled under Matt Nagy, so I expect tight end room to be improved this year, big time, and I expect this offense to gel under Matt Nagy and John Harbaugh. I think it was a solid. I'll give it. I don't want to grade, but I like the hire because what John Harbaugh wants, I'm gonna love. I'm gonna like until he proves me wrong, and I gotta like it, and I like it for those three reasons. Uh, Kurt saying hello. Uh,
Hey, Kurt.
Super Bowl this week. He wishes his Broncos were there. We win whole thing next year. And Kenny, you should be at Knicks game tonight in Washington. Knicks are hot, boys. Knicks are in Washington tonight. My neck of the woods. But back to you, Paul. I like those for those three
Yeah.
main reasons: head coach
Yeah.
experience, coached Pat Mahomes, and was finalist for the Titans job.
Yeah. I mean, I'll expand on what you said. Uh, Bottom line is, I agree with you. Listen, Harbaugh knows what the hell he's doing. So to bring in Matt Nagy, I think is in my opinion, an A hire. for those of you out there who don't know who he is, he started with Andy Reid at Philadelphia, came with him to Kansas City, was the quarterback coach at Kansas City, developed, like you said, Patrick Mahomes. Also wound up working with Alex Smith. Don't forget, Alex Smith was there a year before Mahomes took over, worked with Alex Smith, came back from his injuries and was really, really good. Became the head coach, became the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs, then became the head coach of the Bears. And listen to this, Kenny. First 2 years, 12-4, won the NFC North, had a rookie by the name of Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky made the Pro Bowl, threw 24 touchdowns, was a really good rookie quarterback. Didn't do as well his second year, but overall, Nagy was 34-31 in 4 years at Chicago. You think we would have taken 34-31 with 4 years with Brian Dable? Almost the exact opposite record that Nagy had, and he had over 500 record. So he went back to Kansas City, became offensive coordinator, worked with, like you said, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Listen, to me, it's a no-brainer. You also said he interviewed with the Titans, he interviewed with the Raiders, he interviewed with the Cardinals, and he also interviewed with the Ravens, as a matter of fact. So for head coach, so he's pretty well thought highly of in NFL circles. Relates to players very well. All about team. And funny, where did we hear this? At John Harbaugh's opening press conference. It's all about team. So even though they never worked together, the fact that their philosophies are similar is excellent to hear about it. And I'll throw one more tidbit. In 18 years as the coach, whether it's head coach or assistant coach, his teams have made the playoffs 12 out of 18 years. I'll take that percentage. How about you, Kenny?
100% take that.
And let me add one more thing. You mentioned Travis Kelce under Nagy. I listened to Tiki Barber today. Tiki loves the pick. He mentioned your guy and Mark Calgary's guy, Theo Johnson. He said, watch Theo Johnson thrive in this offense with Matt Nagy as the offensive coordinator. So overall, I think an excellent choice.
Absolutely. Let's say hello to our good friend. I'm coming on my feed over here. Patrick Wiltsey. Aloha, Patrick. He said things are looking up
Patrick.
for those New York Giants.
Nice.
Let me tell you something about Patrick real quick. Lion Coffee, our good friend Patrick, takes care of us. Use the code Patrick10. Get any of your coffee products Patrick put on Lion Coffee store. Order any of your complete order, you get 10% off if you use the code Patrick10. And Paul, I did my other show on the other network that I'm on, and Patrick was my guest last week. And we know how cold it is here on the East Coast. Well, we know Patrick's out there in Hawaii, but how does he rub it in even more? He was driving home from work, and I'm just watching the skyline the whole time. He's the sun coming into his car and the palm trees.
What was the temperature?
It was 80 last week. The resorts, and all that in the background. Thank you, Patrick. No, it was a pleasure doing the show.
That's funny.
But and I enjoyed the skyline, the Hawaii background.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, just want to get that out. But back to you, Paul.
Good. All right. So going on to our next topic, ironically, when Harbaugh came over, the rumors were that Todd Monken would come over as the offensive coordinator. And I think it was a good chance that there was going to be a future with him here in New York. He, as anybody else would, decided he was going to take interviews for other positions, open positions in the NFL. He turned down the Giants job and wound up taking the Cleveland Browns head coach job. So just give me a quick 1-minute overview of this. Certain sports folks, talk hosts in New York, criticized the Giants and called it embarrassing. It was embarrassing that Todd Monken turned down the Giants to take the Cleveland Browns position. And I thought about it, Kenny, and I said, embarrassing? Wait a minute. There's only 32 head coach jobs in the whole NFL. Why would, and regardless of what the team is, I don't care if it's the Cleveland Browns or Seattle or New England, only 32 teams in the NFL. Why would anyone go from a lateral position of offensive coordinator to one team to another team if he has an opportunity to go to a promotion level as a head coach? I'll mention the guy because we mentioned FAN people on the air. Craig Carton had the audacity to say the Giants were embarrassed by this. And I wrote, and I said, if there were 32 jobs on talk radio in the United States, and he was working at a smaller station, but had a chance to go to work in New York, arguably the biggest station in the country, would he not turn down a job there to maybe go from, I don't know, Milwaukee to, somewhere in New Mexico as opposed to going to New York? Of course you would take that New York job. So for him to even imply that's an embarrassment, no. It was an honor for them to even consider Todd Monken to bring him in as the OC, but you have an opportunity. And oh, by the way, maybe a good coordinator is making $1 million to $2 million. What are average head coaches making these days in the NFL? $6 million, $7 million, you know? So the idea of him not taking that job is ludicrous. And for him to be, for the Giants to be considered an embarrassment is ridiculous. So I don't know. What are your feelings on it, Kenny?
Yeah, I have no. When it comes to Chris Carton, I like some of the things he says, and then he's off on some things. I feel he's way off on this one. And a little backstory before I give you some thoughts on what he said. Chris Carton was on WFAN.
Craig Carton.
Craig Carton.
Craig Carton.
I keep saying Chris. I knew. Yep. Thank you. Chris McConnell's his co-host now. That's why I had Chris in my mind.
Right.
Craig Carton used to do the morning show with Boomer Esiason.
Right.
Chris Carton moved to the afternoon drive, etc. He's been on WFAN. Got an opportunity to do a morning show on Fox Sports called The Carton Show. Took that job, left WFAN his full-time spot at WFAN, and did some guest spots. So it's a double standard what he's pulling here by saying this. And I agree with you. You know, Paul, you and I, we do this show and we're building our show up. But if somebody came to you, Paul, and said, hey, we have a show, we'd like to bring you on as a full-time host on TV. Kenny, you're probably going to say, Kenny, I don't have full time to invest in the Giants show that we're doing here, Giants Football Talk. I got an offer for ESPN. You're going to take that offer, and I'm going to accept it because we're friends. I'm going to accept your offer, just like John Harbaugh probably accepted Todd Monken taking the Browns job and probably congratulated him and probably said, you know, I wish you most success. You're in the AFC North. Go win that AFC North, Todd. Go beat the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals, and hope to see you in the Super Bowl one day. And that's probably what he said in those lines. Craig Carton's way off. Embarrassing? No. Why would you leave, and it's the Browns. Yeah, they're down, but it can only go up. So if Todd Monken wins 7 or 8 games this year, he's a hero. He's a hero, and he's probably the head coach for at least the next 5 years. So he has job stability. If it doesn't work out there, he'll be an offensive coordinator again. This is his chance. He took it. 100% back his decision. And Craig Carton, I like some of the things you say, but you are way off in our opinions on this one. And I don't know why you would say it's embarrassing for the Giants and Todd Monken. I don't get it. So
No.
I think you're off on it. I know he's one of those that's never wrong, and a lot of these guys think they're never wrong. They're perfect, but our opinions wrong.
Agreed.
Eddie Murphy
Good.
saying
Okay.
something about it. So let's Eddie Murphy saying Craig Carton is a clown. I'm so pissed they moved Tiki and Evan. Those were the afternoon guys. They're in the morning
Right.
now.
Right.
The good thing about John Harbaugh, he's not afraid to fire someone. So if Nagy isn't it, he will be fired. I will say this on the other side of it, Eddie. Nagy, Paul alluded to it, and I said the Titans job, and Paul alluded to other jobs he interviewed for. You might see a short stay here with Nagy one way or the other. If the Giants have success, don't be surprised if he looks for some head coaching jobs and a high candidate next year with some success.
Yeah.
And that could have been a factor in his coming here too. And hey, I'll take him for 1 year if you're going to get me to the playoffs. Let's go.
Exactly. I mean, based on his track record, he's a pretty good luck charm with the teams. Obviously, the Chiefs is a good team to be in the playoffs. But
Let's go.
nevertheless,
Let's
yeah,
go.
let's go. All right, moving on. So every year we do this, but we have a little twist to it since it's a Giant show tonight. Every year I do a Super Bowl city comparison, and I combine football and pop culture and food and tourist attractions and movies and things like that. You'll get the flavor for it. But the little twist, since it is a Giant show, we did Boston, we did Seattle, but based on Kenny's very good suggestion and recommendation, we also threw in New York and the Giants. So I'm going to go through all of the categories. I'm going to ask Kenny, and you tell me, Kenny, which ones you think you would pick. Okay?
Okay.
So Boston, Beantown versus Seattle, the Emerald City versus New York, the Big Apple. And my first category is greatest football player, Kenny. New England. Let's see. Tom Brady, you think? For Seattle, ironically, Russell Wilson. And for the Giants, LT. Who do you think? Who do you pick?
I'm not gonna be. I promise you, I won't be a homer on every category. Russ is out. Unfortunately, Russ, great career, but got to throw him out. So it comes to Tom Brady and LT. If Tom Brady would have beaten Eli Manning in those 2 Super Bowls, I probably would have went Tom Brady. But I got to go to best player, in my opinion, of all time, defensive player, Mr. LT himself, Lawrence Taylor. I'm giving it to the Big Apple.
I like it. Okay. Greatest baseball player, Boston. Going back a little bit, Ted Williams, the Splendid Splinter. Seattle, not too shabby, Ken Griffey Jr. I had a choice. I was thinking Ichiro, but I said, you know what? I'm going with Ken Griffey Jr. And for the Yankees, going way back, but hey, the Bambino, Babe Ruth. I thought of doing Aaron Judge, but he's still the Bambino. He's still Babe Ruth.
God, this is probably going to be the hardest one on here. Ken Griffey Jr. Only reason I'll throw, and he could be arguably, even though he's a younger compared to the other two, I could go Ken Griffey Jr. I'm I'm going to throw no World Series rings as my
Mm.
reason for no Ken Griffey. That leaves Ted Williams, last player to bat 400 against the great Babe Ruth, who was an original Boston Beantown guy.
Yes, he
Uh,
was.
and they traded him. I got to go Babe Ruth. Everybody, sorry. I'm being a homer again here, but I'm going Babe. I'm going to
Yeah.
give this one to the Big Apple.
Okay.
But all right, so Big Apple, Boston versus Seattle. Boston is up 2-0, but the new Big
Okay.
Apple has got both of them.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Greatest coach. New England, Bill Belichick. Seattle, Pete Carroll. And for the Giants, I could flip a coin, but I put Bill Parcells / Tom Coughlin. I couldn't make a decision. They both won 2 Super Bowls. They were both great coaches in New York. So you tell me.
I just want to. We got a Josh coming in saying congrats on Nagy Giants fans. Thanks, Josh, for
Oh,
tuning
thank
in.
you, Josh.
A little fun little twist that we do on our Super Bowl. We do this every year on our other show, but we added New York into the mix. A lot of different categories. Play along if you guys are out there. Greatest coach. So we got Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, and for New York, Tom Coughlin or Bill Parcells. We could do 1A there. I'm going to go Belichick. I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Started with New York, so there's maybe a half point for New York there because he started with New York. But no, I'll give this one to Boston. And Josh is saying next Raiders coach is going to be Sean McDermott, in his opinion. We'll see. That's good. That's the only job available. But
Josh, I hate to disagree. I think it's already been announced. Sort of Clint Kubiak is going to be named after the Super Bowl.
Right.
But you could check on that.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to give this one to Boston. So Boston's on the board, but they have a 3-0 lead in the side.
All right, let's go to food. Kurt, hold your ears because I don't think this is going to be a category you want to choose. So, Boston, we have Atlantic seafood, including clam chowder, lobster rolls, fried clams, one of my favorites, Boston baked beans, and for dessert, Boston cream pie. For Seattle, also seafood, salmon, one of my favorites, as you know, Kenny, oysters and crabs. And in New York, what else? Pizza, dirty water, hot dogs. And I had to throw in, because I read so many of these lists of best foods in New York. There's a place downtown in Manhattan, Katz's Deli, that is arguably the best pastrami sandwich in the city and maybe in the country. So you have pizza, dirty water dogs. And for those of you who may not know what a dirty water dog is, there's carts throughout the city and they have boiled hot dogs in the water. And of course, the water gets dirty. So we refer to them as dirty water dogs. And Katz's Deli pastrami sandwich. Which one, Kenny?
This is a runaway. I do like my seafood, and my New Year's resolution was I was going to eat more seafood. So I do like clam chowder. I do like lobster rolls. I like crabs, etc. But love pizza. Who doesn't? Love the dirty water hot dogs. I miss them being here in Maryland. And pastrami, I've had a couple times. I've never been to Katz's Deli. I'll put that on my bucket list. So this is a runaway for New York. And got them on the board with 3. Boston with 1. Seattle still looking for their first to get on the board.
All right. Let's go to best song. And I'm going to take a little a poetic license from this, even though this song isn't from Boston, but they used to play this all the time. I think it was actually, it sort of started with the Red Sox. I hate to say it, but Sweet Caroline is the Red Sox. There's the Boston song. for those of you who are Nirvana fans and Kurt Cobain fans, a famous song from Seattle, Come As You Are. And of course, there are many New York songs that I could choose from, but hey, what song is more New York than New York, New York, the Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. So, Kenny,
Yeah, let me real quick. Let's get back to Josh. So he's playing along. He's going pizza. He's going New York with that category. Born and raised in Brooklyn, Paul. So again,
all
Josh, thank
right.
you for hanging out with us. Is the CA at the end of your name? Are you in California now, or is that just part of your screen name? Uh, if you don't mind sharing, love to know where our audience is from. I'm going to put Seattle on the board, and I'll tell you why. You would think I would go New York, New York. Yeah, Frank Sinatra, Blue Eyes, Yankee Games. Love that song. Love Sweet Caroline, the college years in the bars. They played a song. We sing at the bars. It was a nice sing along song. Love it. But Nirvana and Pearl Jam, two bands that got me into that grunge alternative change of
Wow.
music in the 90s. I was more like,
Wow.
I was into
Something I
that
learned, I
dance.
newly learned
Yeah,
about Kenny.
I was into that dance, the hip hop scene in the early 90s. Pearl Jam
Wo-
and Nirvana changed my
Nice.
style of music. So I'm putting Seattle on the board with Come As You
Very
Are
nice.
for the best song on the
Wow. That's a shocker to me. You see, you learn something new about your friends every day.
Yes, you do.
Great. Very good. That's why we do this. All right. Let's go to movies. A lot of movies in all three cities. So we'll start with Boston. Good Will Hunting, fantastic movie. Uh, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Robin Williams starred in the movie. Sleepless in Seattle for Seattle. Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, another fun romance comedy movie. And then again in New York, there were two movies, actually, sort of three, but Godfather 1 and 2 or Taxi Driver. So, um, Kenny, this is a tough category, but Good Will Hunting, Sleepless in Seattle, or New York with Taxi Driver and or Godfather 1 and 2.
Not gonna lie, Sleepless in Seattle, surprisingly never seen it. So I got to throw them out.
Okay.
Romance comedies, those early days, I didn't. I'll go back and watch it though. I'll put it on my list of movies to watch. Uh, Leaves Goodwill Hunting and or Godfather 1 or 2 or Taxi Driver. Those New York movies all great, but because you had three on that list and they're hard to put one at the top, putting Goodwill Hunting. I mean, that was such an amazing movie with
Hmm.
Matt Damon and Robin Williams, and really, really enjoy that movie. And I haven't seen it in a while, but I'll definitely
Yeah.
have to go back. That is going to be a must watch soon for me because I do
Nice.
enjoy watching that movie every time I watch it. Goodwill
Yeah.
is the
That
goat. Josh is saying.
Good Will Hunting. Nice.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Best celebrity fan. You know, all these teams, whether it's baseball, we see the Knicks, they have their row of celebrity fans in front row. It's great to see the celebrities root for their team. I'm sure at the Super Bowl you're going to have a lot of fans, celebrity fans. So in our little game tonight, best celebrity fan for the Patriots, Dave Portnoy, who's probably going to bet a hell of a lot of money on the game. For Seattle, Will Farrell, you know him as Elf. The what's his name?
Saturday
Ron
Night Live. Yep. Ron Burgundy, Saturday Night Live.
Burgundy,
Yep.
Saturday Night Live, and of course, only from Jersey, John Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. So, Kenny, this is a hard category. John Bon Jovi, Will Farrell, or Dave Portnoy.
This is tough. Fun
I
fact:
told you.
my cousin Sherry, if she's out there listening, will get a kick out of this. She told me this story. She went to Pequannock High School. She was a sophomore while John Bon Jovi was a senior. John Bon Jovi asked her to prom and she declined him. You look at his high school picture, he was very geeky, and my cousin was more the Pat Benatar, shaved head on the side,
Uh-huh.
punk look, and he was not
Oh, that's
punk. So there's a little another fun fact from Paul's comparisons
that's
here. So
funny.
Sherry, if you're out there listening, I know she listens here quite often. Uh, we'll bring that up on the show here. You'll get a kick out of that. I'll go. I'm going to leave him out only because these other two, Dave Portnoy started not just because he's the Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports is okay, but he does these pizza reviews, and we know pizza.
Hmm.
He's all around, and he's gone to so many places in New Jersey that I've been to, and love the pizza reviews he does. But when I'm looking at this, Paul, Will Farrell might be one of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life, and
Hmm.
movie after movie after movie he does, and even his Saturday Night Live bits, the cowbell, he's getting Jimmy Fallon and everybody to laugh in the background,
Hmm.
and not many people can do that on Saturday Night Live is get their cast members to laugh. He does. I got to go Seattle here. Will Farrell over the
Okay.
other two guys. Let me say
Seattle's on
hello
the
to,
board.
let's say hello to Keith Rudman.
Oh,
Keith's over there,
Keith.
Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We've got a show later called The Juice. If you want to check us out at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Super Bowl special. Will Farrell for sure, but John comes in a close second. Dave comes a distant third.
Nice. Okay. Um, best reporter fan, and I'll explain. These three people that I selected are huge fans of the team, but they're I mean, quote unquote celebrities, but I indicated they're like reporters. So I'll start with the Giants. Longtime ESPN hostess, huge Giant fan, Linda Cohn, who you may know as a Giants fan. For Seattle, Mina Kimes, also on ESPN, is a huge Seattle Seahawk fan. And for the Patriots, big Patriots fan. In fact, lost the bet when the Giants beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 42. Maria Menounos, who used to hold, I think, was a co-hostess with on Extra and some other of those type of shows. But I know a huge Patriots fan and someone that may pop up now that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. So out of those three,
Tough decision, but when I look at these three, I respect the heck out of Linda Cohen. She's a Giants fan. Maria Menounos, an extra, like you said, but I still enjoy watching Mina Kimes. She's very good at what she does, and she gives you a lot of insight and a lot of information. Like, when you talk about the Ian Rappaports and the Schefters, she should be right up there with them because she's always in the mix and getting the stories. And I'm gonna go with Seattle on this one, back to back. Seattle
okay,
making a comeback here. Seattle's
yeah,
actually tied with New York. Three, no, New York has four. Seattle
one,
has
two,
three.
three,
Boston has two.
yeah. All right. The last one is tourist attractions. So for Boston, ironically, after I did this, I read something that this wasn't so great, but I'd left it on anyway. Faneuil Hall and Quincy Market, which I've been to, and a lot of stores, shops, big tourist attraction. A lot of people who go up to Boston. For Seattle, the Space Needle, which has been there forever. And I also threw in Pike Place Market, which is a huge shopping fish market. That's a big tourist attraction out in Seattle. And for New York, what other attractions can you put? The Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building. So, Faneuil Hall, Quincy Market, Space Needle, Pike Place Market, or Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building for New York.
easy runaway for New York on this one. Those just I'll just throw the Statue of Liberty in there as the
Okay.
as ahead of Empire State Building if I had to pick one. Space Needle, I'd love to go one day, and Quincy Market sounds like it's fun, but when you comparing these three to comparing those to the Statue of Liberty, I got to go Statue of Liberty. But in the Seattle versus Boston, looks like Seattle's going to take this one, Paul. If it was just
Yeah.
between the two of them, but if New
Hmm.
York was there, New York would have the advantage. If we were only there, one day we'll get
Yep.
there, Paul. We'll be able to do
We'll
a
get there
comparison show.
eventually.
We'll have to do a whole hour comparison show if that happens.
All right. Great job, Kenny.
Good job, Paul. Awesome
Excellent job.
I'm going to steal a couple of these for the show later. I'm on the juice. If that's they're not
Absolutely.
copyrighted, right? They're not copyrighted, right?
No, you can use them, but when we see them on other shows in the next day or two, then they should be copyrighted. But no, you and Keith can use them.
Thank you.
All right. So it's Super Bowl. We talk about Giants, hopefully getting there. I'm going to ask you a big question because this is a life-altering answer that you're going to give me, Kenny. If and when the Giants win their next Super Bowl, what would you give up forever in your lifetime moving forward if the Giants could win another Super Bowl? What would it be? Think about that. What would it be? Would you give up? I should have prefaced it by explaining what Mike Vrabel had said, but maybe since this is an E-rated program, I won't do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up any body parts. I'll just say that.
No.
I'm not going to give up my favorite foods. I'll say that. What I would give up, I would give up, and this is big. I would give up a place in New Jersey that's dear to my heart, and it's the first place, not Wildwood, but it's a place I took you and Luby. It's a place that I spent many summers with. For those in New Jersey who notice, I would give up Long Beach Island, and that's a big one for me because I had family that had a beachfront property, and if I can go back there, but I would give that up for a Giants Super Bowl. I haven't been there in a few years. I was there with you and your wife in the wintertime. We did a little quick tour of the island,
Yep.
the lighthouse, but in the summertime, it's a great family spot. But there's a lot of other places in New Jersey I can go to. I would give up Long Beach Island, all of Long Beach Island for a Giants Super Bowl.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'm going a little more dramatic because I really want them to win another Super Bowl. And from a health standpoint also, mind you, if there was something I would give up would be, I'll say it in general terms. It would be sugar, meaning giving up like pastries and candies and things of that nature. I would give that all up for the rest of my life. If the Giants hold up that Lombardi trophy one more time, I'm willing to give that all up from a health standpoint, from the fact that we are Super Bowl champions again. And hey, I'll live without it. But knowing that my Giants won another Super Bowl. So it might be pretty dramatic. I don't know what else you guys out there might give up that you might want to play along with us. But if I can see the Giants win a Super Bowl, hey, I'll be more than happy to say no more donuts, no more carrot cake, no more ice cream, no more candy. I'll give it all up if I know the Giants can win another Super Bowl.
I love my Giants, but I can't give up all those sweets. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll give up traveling to certain places, but I can't do it. Maybe I'll throw in like the other beach towns in New Jersey and just stay away from
Right.
New Jersey. Sure, but can't do the food. Can't do it. Sharon saying hello. How you doing, Sharon? Hope all's good out your
Hey,
way.
Sharon.
Uh, what would you all give up if you're out there? I know we got a couple other fans that might not be Giants fans, like Keith and Sharon. What would you give up for a Bills Super Bowl win, Sharon? Bills never won the Super Bowl. I just said I would give up Long Beach Island and the Jersey Shore towns. Paul's going to give up a lot of sugar, well, sugar and a lot of desserts. Would love to know Sharon because she's never seen a Super Bowl with Buffalo. So let's see if she
That's
answers.
Kenny.
Paul.
This is a good question for your show with Keith.
Yeah,
What would the Bronco fans give up for another Super Bowl?
I might give that to Keith later to put on his Broncos show for sure. Yeah.
All right. All right. So obviously, with the off season now here, it's draft, and we're talking about mock drafts. We're talking about seniors who have arguably played their last All-Star game, and the Senior Bowl was this past Saturday. Watched a little of it, and Kenny, I know you've been following some players that the Giants hopefully might be interested in, and why don't I give it over to you and let's talk about the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I got a few for Giant fans to keep an eye up in the upcoming weeks leading to the combine and the off season. But two answers. We got Sharon saying junk food and coffee is what she would give up. Eddie doesn't know what he would give up because he really doesn't love anything.
Don't
Give up. What's your
Eddie,
favorite
don't
movie,
give up.
Eddie?
Don't give up your kids, Eddie.
No, great answers there, and you know, it definitely something to look. You know, we in the Catholic religion give up Lent, so it's kind of like a Lent, but
Right.
a long version of Lent.
Right.
Yes, I got two. I got a couple, three defensive players and two offensive players. Paul, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think one of our weakest positions in the off season here on defense is going to be linebacker. We don't
Mm.
know if Bobby Okereke is coming back. We don't know if Micah McFadden's coming back. Those are our two starters. McFadden was out most of the year. Darian Musa is a sixth-round pick. We don't know what we're going to get from him. So the linebacker room, I think, is going to be addressed not only in free agency, but somewhere in the draft. Free agent meaning Bobby Okereke may come back, Micah McFadden may come back, but something is going to definitely get added here, and I think it could be one of these Senior Bowl guys. The first one is Owen Heineke from Oklahoma, 6'1", 227. I think this could be the Micah McFadden replacement if they decide to move on from Micah McFadden. 3 sacks, 34 solo tackles, 2-year starter at Oklahoma. We know Oklahoma made the playoffs. Senior Bowl, he had a nice Senior Bowl outing, was all over the field. I could see that being in play. Two other names I really like. Bruce Bochy from Oregon, 6'2", 232, 136 tackles, a tackling machine, great against the run. We know he struggled against the run. I think this could be your run-stopping linebacker. Bobby Okereke maybe replacement. He added 56 solo tackles, an interception, and a sack. Last year had 94 tackles. So 6'2", 232. Love the size, Paul. I'll do one more, and then if you want to add anything on those three, I'll go to and then I'll go to the offense after you talk about them. The last one is going to be Kyle Lewis, listed as a linebacker, but I'm hearing that he is going to be most likely a safety in the NFL. Little undersized, 6'1", 220, 43 solo tackles with a sack, 79 total this year. Last year had his breakout year, 109 total tackles with 7 sacks. I could see, like I said, I'm hearing that he's going to be a back end guy, a linebacker. This could be a late round, late day 2, early day 3 steal. If the Giants decide to take him, could be a steal. Those are the three defensive guys I had, Paul, and I'll let you add anything if you have any other players or anything you want to add to those guys.
Yeah. Lewis sounds like, who was the Giant safety, the strong safety that we let go in free agent? Not Xavier McKinney, the one before him.
Jason Pinnock.
No. He was a he
Oh,
was a
I know who you're talking about. He played on Washington.
yeah.
Yeah, what's
That's
his?
who he reminds me of. That type of
Okay,
player.
and I would
He
take
might be a safety, but down in the box, and that Bocher though. Watching the game Saturday, he was all over the field. That kid can play. Um, I mean, you know what I like about Jacob Rodriguez, and I guess he practiced, but he didn't play in the game on
right.
Saturday. But the other two guys, Bocher and Heineke, both were all over the field. And if the Giants can get any of those guys, I'd be very satisfied with them. So those are three guys that played very well, and I'm glad that you brought them up because yes, absolutely, I think those were three key uh, players that really played well during the game and during the practices.
Yeah. I do have two offensive guys, Paul, and I got it. We've talked about this a couple weeks ago. We did our, who the Giants should take at round one, and nobody, and I mean nobody, except Paul Rosen, has said Jeremiah Love, a running back, and it made all the sense in the world because of, you know, the more the merrier. If you can get a player with Jeremiah Love's talent. I don't think Devin Singletary is going to be back. So I found another running back that I liked that could be a later draft pick and be the guy, Scatterboo coming back, ease him in. Tracy, you have a three-headed monster. Mike Washington out of Arkansas.
I knew you were going there, man.
I know we think alike. We do our homework, chat. We do our homework, and
Yeah.
we don't give each other. Paul has no idea what names are on this list, and he's probably got the same names in his head. He just said, "I knew you were going there." Mike Washington, 1,070 yards, 8 touchdowns, added 26 receptions, 226 yards, and a touchdown, 9 total touchdowns, 167 carries, a workhorse there at Arkansas. Don't let the 1,070 yards, that could have been easily, in my opinion, anywhere from 12 to 1,400 yards if he played on a better team. This was a 2-10 team getting that
Yeah.
much work. Getting that much work. You could have seen 200 carries if they were a better team and running the ball in the fourth quarter. 725 yards, 8 touchdowns last year. Touchdown machine. I want that if as my third back, versatility, couple goal line carries I need or short yardage play, you need a couple yards, give it to this guy. And I would not be against the Giants drafting a running back in a later round draft pick like him. Uh, I'll let you talk about him real quick, Paul, because the last name I'm going to pass to you to talk to about first.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, huge running back, almost like Brandon Jacob, like not as big, but 6'1", 6'2", 225, 230-pound running back, but fast. The guy played well in the game, and also Washington on in the practices. So he would add a little different dimension than what the Giants have with Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterboo. But yeah, I was just reading something also with Eric Gray and Singletary, as you mentioned. Giants are probably going to go at some point taking a back. A lot of backs coming out that are very good this year. The guy I like, besides Washington, I mentioned to you during the championship game, that kid Black, the Indiana running back, was excellent in practice and also in the game on Saturday. It reminds me of Isaiah Pacheco. I love the way Pacheco runs and plays hard. That's what Black reminds me of. So I think that kid's also, I think the NFL took notice because not only did this kid play 16 games to win a championship, he could have said, "Hey, I'm resting on my laurels." He wound up coming down to Alabama and playing and practicing basically a week after they win the championship, and he didn't have to do that. So that says something about his motivation and his attitude. which I like a lot. So Black is a guy that I'm going to follow also.
Right. Let me get a hello in. A longtime friend, Jay Cook, saying, "What's up, boys? Kenny,
Hey,
my
Jay.
brother." Let's do this one from Josh right after my our last. Josh has a question, and we'll get to that right after this last guy, Paul, because you're a Notre Dame fan. For those who don't know, and one player I could definitely see the Giants going after is Malachi Fields, the 6'4", 225 wide receiver,
Hmm.
205-pound wide receiver, the tall guy, Virginia transfer, Paul. You want to talk a little bit about him real quick, and then if there's anything I need to add, which I don't won't be
Yeah.
much, I'll add.
It's funny. The Giants signed last year Bo Collins as an undrafted free agent, and Malachi Fields was almost the Bo Collins of this year, except I think he has upgraded himself to not only a draftable player, but you can argue this kid has made himself a lot of money because maybe he could have been in a draft very, very deep with wide receivers. He has now moved up on a lot of NFL scouts and teams list of top players. Uh, Daniel Jeremiah, very, very good NFL Network guy, had him in his top 50 players. So he's not going to be sneaking up on people. And after the practices and after the game that he had on Saturday, unfortunately, Kenny, I think this kid may sneak into the back of the first round or early in the second round, and the Giants may not have an opportunity to take him. I don't know if he made a name for himself to go up all the way to number 5, where the Giants do need a receiver. But the fact that he has impressed enough people to really make himself, like I said, I think into the, if not the first round, at least somewhere in the high to middle second round. Maybe the Giants go with try and get him, but believe me, 31 other teams know him out there now. And the kid is, like I've said to you, not only is he a great receiver, he high points the ball, great red zone receiver, but he's shown that he can get down the field. He made a catch in practice. If you guys want to see, over the, not even just over the shoulder, literally over his head, and he dove head first and caught the ball down near about the 5-yard line. Just an amazing catch. This kid is going to be a really, really relatively high pick, I think. And I can't say enough good things about him. And just the other thing is, he's a good kid too. Blocks, had no problem, almost, Puka Nakoa type of blocking. And that's the good thing about him. Very, very team oriented. So any team who gets him is going to be, they're going to love this guy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add to it. Don't let the stats fool you. 36 catches, 630
Yeah.
yards, 5 touchdowns. That averages 17 and a half a reception, which is pretty darn good. Uh, Virginia transfer, 808 yards, 5 touchdowns. But Notre Dame had a player called Jeremiah Love, who was big focal point of the Notre Dame offense. So don't let these numbers fool you. Uh, Love it. I think he's going to rise. Like I said, I don't think we're going to worry about him getting taken at number 5, but it could be if the Giants don't take a receiver in their first pick. Joe Shane showed he's not afraid to move up. If this is a guy that's on the Giants board high and
Mm-hmm.
he's sitting there at the end of the first round, might see the Giants move up a few spots and give up a later pick.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the guy, first round talent that you can get in the back end, all about it. All about moving up a little bit. Jimmy Eisman saying hello, Paul. We got a few
Hey,
minutes
Jimmy.
left. I know we're going to do Super Bowl predictions and quick overview on the game. Uh, I want to get Josh's question in because it has to do with the draft. He is a Jets fan, so he's hopeless. He's completely hopeless, but he wants to know the top 3 wide receivers coming out of the draft. Giants can use another wide receiver with Malik. Mine, real quick. I wrote these down while he was, while you were talking, Paul. Jordan Tyson, elite receiver from Arizona State. I think he's clearly the best receiver. Do I want to take him at 5? I don't think so. But we'll see as the days progress, the combine comes up. I'm going to probably change my mind 100 times, but I don't think I want to take a receiver that early. I moved Malachi Fields all the way up to number 2. I really like this guy. The size is there, hands are there, speed is there, a complete wide receiver. Paul nailed it with the blocking. Moving him up to number 2. Carnell Tate has come off my board as the top 3 guys. I got another sleeper, Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. I think could be sneaky as my 3rd there, Josh. So those are the 3 I'm going to give you. I'm going to be a little different.
All right. I mean, I'll obviously Fields is there. I'll give you put 3 others besides Fields. Tate, I've got to put up. Any receiver coming from Ohio State, they're so well trained, and they all seem to be just really, really good. Tate will be there. Tyson, ironically, I just read something before we came on the air that he's a former teammate of Cam Scatterboo, and that he's trying to get the Giants to draft him at number 5. And the kid from USC, more of a slot guy, Lemon, from USC, is also going to be a high pick.
Nice picks. Paul, we got a few minutes left. You want to wrap up the agenda? Quick mention on Eli real quick. That's snubbed again. We don't have to really go into detail because we want it to be a positive show today. And snubbed again from the Hall of Fame. I don't want to get into it too much. I'll just say these writers, stop with the blind ballots. Let me know who you are if you didn't vote for him and explain why. Why has it got to be hidden? That's what I want to know. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, it's become a disgrace this year. It really has. So I don't want to get into it too much. If you want to add anything, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Eli. Crazy. It's ridiculous. Let's leave it at that. So, all right, let's close the show.
Real quick, he's saying on the receivers, Tyson's undersized, solid slot player. Concepcion is a solid sleeper. Can grab him in the 2nd or 3rd round. And Josh is saying he appreciates the answer to his question. Thank you again for joining us. Hope you come back. We would definitely don't mind. We're a Giants show, but we spread it around. We'll talk about our counterparts, the Jets, every once in a while. You're always welcome to come to the blue and red, red, white, and blue, and the Giants, Josh, and hang out with us.
All right. Super Bowl prediction times. Kenny, why don't you start it off, and then I'll finish.
Josh, hold your ears, because Mr. Sam Darnold is the quarterback of the Seahawks, and he started his career with the Jets, right? And what did he do in his last 2 years? He only went 29-5 in his last 2 years. Last year with Minnesota, this year with Seattle. And Seattle, their defense has been incredible all year. Leonard Williams for the Giants, former Giant. Good luck to him. Get that Super Bowl ring, Leonard Williams. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp. They're loaded, in my opinion. Patriots have had the easiest route to the Super Bowl, I think, in the history of Super Bowls. From their schedule, week 1 losing to the Raiders, what does that tell you? And then they make it all the way to the Super Bowl, facing backup quarterbacks, facing players that are hurt. They got an easy path, but nobody's giving them a chance. And that scares me a little bit. When nobody gives you a chance, and leaving Kraft out of the Hall of Fame, bulletin board material for Rabel. Let's get our owner one more Super Bowl. But you know what? I think it's Seattle's year. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Drake May banged up a little bit. I think he's going to struggle. But the run game for the Patriots will be there. I'm going very low score in Super Bowl, Paul. 19-17 Seattle.
Okay, good. Just want to add a couple of other names. Either Tommy DeVito or Drew Lock will have a Super Bowl winner and ring given to them. So how ironic is that, Kenny? That being said, listen, 11 years ago, 2015, Super Bowl 49, Seattle and New England. They're on the 1 yard line. And Pete Carroll, for the life of me, to this day, probably still second guesses himself and has Russell Wilson throw a pass into the end zone. Malcolm Butler intercepts, and that's all she wrote. So here we are, February 8th, 11 years later. This will be payback time, Kenny. Payback time. The New England Patriots will be winning 24-20. Seattle gets the ball, and Josh, hold your ears. Sam Darnold brings the Seahawks down the field, maybe with 20 seconds left in the game. And instead of throwing the ball this time, they hand the ball not to Marshawn Lynch, but to Kenneth Walker III. Touchdown. Seattle's going to win this on the last second touchdown. Running the ball, not passing the ball as they should have 11 years ago. 27-24 is the final score.
Love it. Love it. Josh is just asking about the point spread. We have a show, Josh, on Saturday. Sometimes it's on Sundays. Look up the K&K Sports Show, Clams and Claws. We have a guy, Joey Clams. He used to do. He's an old bettor, and he was on the Jimmy Fallon show many years ago. So look up Joey Clams on YouTube, and you'll see his famous Jimmy Fallon New York Rangers skit with Jimmy Fallon. But he comes on. He does stuff. He gets a lot of inside information from Vegas, and gets some insight and gives you some best bets to play for the Super Bowl. So go check them out. Joey Clams and Carson Claus are good friends. But Paul, want to get some final words in? I'll go first. Right. Give you the final word. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. The commercials are always fun to watch. If Green Day's your thing, there's a pregame show this year. Green Day's the artist at the pregame. Hey, not here to judge anybody. If Bad Bunny's your thing and you like the halftime show, enjoy it. But enjoy the game, Super Bowl pools, the food, etc. Whatever you're with, make sure you're safe. Make sure you have a designated driver if you're going out to the bars or with family and drinking. Make sure you got a designated driver. Be safe. Enjoy the game. We'll see everybody next Tuesday, and we'll start our off-season progress to the combine and talking New York Giants football talk with my friend Paul Rosen, as always. Paul, final words, my friend.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, everybody. Always a pleasure to answer your questions, your comments. Thank you, particularly Josh, for joining us today. Hopefully this will be a regular routine for you coming on. We appreciate all your questions and comments. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody. Like Kenny said, be safe, and whatever you do, bet smartly if you are betting, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.